Hello and welcome back to Project Xpack. Just at the start of this video, I might as well point out that I have launched channel memberships. If you want to pop over to my channel page and have a wee look, there's a join button at the top right somewhere. Again, no obligation to sign up, nothing will change if you don't, but it's just another way to support the channel and to get some extra perks. For instance, there's a couple of projects going on over there that I have announced they will be coming to the main channel eventually, but for now they're in the members only area, so a few of them that should be interesting to say the least coming forward. For now, it's time to get back to this. It's done about 2,200 miles so far since the build. A lot of that was done in Cornwall. Parked it up, got the running issues sorted, and went a couple of runs, if you've seen in the last couple of episodes. However, jumped into it the other day to go to Halfords for some random miscellaneous stuff for a friend's car. And I got to a roundabout not far from here, maybe 2 miles up the road. Stopped at the roundabout in traffic and saw smoke billowing out both sides of under the bonnet. That wasn't good, really. So, of course, pulled in at the nearest possible opportunity. Me and my mate jumped out. One did the bonnet latches, one grabbed the fire extinguisher, ran round, and no fire. Oil had started leaking out of this rocker cover onto the turbo manifold and was smoking off and going, sort of just burning off, thankfully without flames. So, no matter how many times you seal these bloody rocker covers on a Ford Cosworth, they just don't seal. No matter how much you pay for the gaskets, no matter who supplies the gaskets, I just can't, I don't know, they're useless. The oil, again, it wasn't burning at this stage, so we just turned around and went for home anyway. And whenever we go back to the yard, I will put a wee clip up now to show how we entered the yard. But whenever we got back to the yard, smoke was even worse out of the car, and I said to the mate, bring that extinguisher with you just in case. Ran round, checked, and right enough, flames this time. So flames were licking up around the catch can area, lambda sensor, and fuel filter, which was nice. But thankfully, no damage. It was just burning off the manifold and hadn't spread anywhere yet. So it's time to address that slight issue before I can actually drive the car again. I'm meant to be doing a few hundred miles on it next weekend, going down to Mondello racetrack in Dublin area for a retro stock event. So yes, it's time to see if I can get this thing going. Plan of attack, because the turbo's now on there, I have to loosen those enough to get them out of the way. So we'll take the downpipes off and take the bolts out of the turbo downpipe area thing, the link pipe, move it out of the way, and hopefully just lift this cover up off and reseal. Yeah, I hate this job. It's one of the most hateful jobs on this car, is trying to get a rocker cover to seal, but needs must. Suppose I'll make a start with this downpipe. This is leaking anyway. Didn't ever seal right really, so I'll take this opportunity to fix that while I have it off properly. Might actually take the downpipe right off, but we'll see. I think this only really needs loosened, to be fair. It doesn't need to come right off, I don't believe. I hope it doesn't. Bye-bye. Right. It's a very bad habit I have, leaving tools laying on the car paintwork. Right. What do you see? This will be leaking, but yet not come off in a million years. If anybody ever tries to talk you into doing a Ford 24 valve conversion, ignore them. They're on drugs. Right. This is a bit I hate. Cleaning the old silicone off this. Because inevitably, no matter how hard you try, it ends up inside the head. So, anyway, I'll not bore you with the cleaning bit. I'll get this done and get back to you. So, time has come to try and address the reason behind the leakage on the Cosworth. You might recollect that in the past I have tried to grind down these wee boys. These, I don't know if you can see them or not, these are spacers that sort of stop the gasket crushing in whenever you tighten the bolts down. But they, in my opinion, are far too thick. They don't allow you to get any compression on the gasket at all, really. You're just relying on the sealer on each side, sealing and hoping that it stops the record cover falling off. So I think what I'm going to do, it's hard to see. Let's see if I can get this. There's a wee lip at the top here. I've already ground these down. These used to be a lot thicker. But there's a wee lip at the top. I'm going to take all of them down to just take this lip off and no more. That way then I can set the tension on the gasket myself. And I'm not relying on these stopping the bolts. Yeah. Next step, I think if this doesn't work and the gasket blows out again, is the wee D-shaped things are still in the head. for the front of the rocker cover. So what I think I'm going to do is, if this fails, I have a tin of anti-seal stuff there, which from what I gather from the person who gave it to me is basically you're never getting this off again, mate, sort of a stuff. So yeah, I think that might be drastic measures, but I hate Cosworth rocker covers, so it might just have to happen. Yeah, the gasket that was on there just doesn't want to fit overly nicely, just doesn't want to play ball. It keeps trying to kink, and it's just not great whatsoever. I don't know if that's because it's been fitted and compressed or not, but it just seems to me like a shocking fit. I have it on the right way, so it's not that. So yeah, I'm just not overly impressed. It almost seems like it's too long, it's stretched. One side's okay, but the other side has just gone badly out of shape on me. Might even end up having to cut it to try and get it to fit. Because if the two holes are lined up on the wee spacery things, and I try to put this up in, look at how much it lifts up, so much slack there is in it. So I don't know what I'm going to do here. It's the same on the far side. Might be safer just cutting my losses and tiger seal or atta seal and clamp down with these wee boyos ground down and try and get a decent squish on it. It works with every other mating face I've ever worked with, so I don't see why it wouldn't work with this. A good smear gasket and clamp it down and use that, the bolt, to take the tension. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to try and do anyway. Okay, so, I don't know if you can see me right now, can you? Ish. That is them all now, sort of along, just about, see it there? They're not quite flush. See it here? Not quite flush, but not far off it. So that should give enough room for a bead of silicone, or Addisealed or whatever flavour I decide to use. That hopefully will seal this in for me. I don't think I'm even going to try and mess with these gaskets, to be honest, because they're just crap. Like, if I put this and this, so this and this are lined up with the holes, look at how much it sits up. Like, how are you ever meant to get that down there and seal it properly without it kinking? It just doesn't work. So yeah, I think I'm going to bin that idea. I'll probably regret this when I'm sitting stopped at the side of the road with oil pissing everywhere and the car on fire, but I think I'm going to put some decent sealer on this and call it a day. Okay, so I'm not kidding you whenever I say it has taken me over an hour just to clean the mating faces of the rocker cover on the head. So I think I've done this right. I hope I have. I've put a real good bead of silicone the whole way around that. Good stuff. I've lathed all of these down to 25mm exactly. And I think I've put enough on. I'll put a little bit more on here. I've left this to go off for 20 minutes or so it's not all over the place. But still, this is not going to be handy to get in here without wrecking this instant gasket all over the place. I don't quite know how I'm going to go about this. So, I know you're going to, but try and hide whenever you're laughing at me, will you? Whenever I inevitably mess this up big time. How did one get this in here? Come on now, behave. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, get some bolts and see if they line up, I suppose, and nip them up and no more. Next thing is I hope these bolts aren't too flipping long, because obviously now I've took another couple of mil off each one of these thingies. So how come I'm missing one? Where'd that go? Where are you? Of course it is. At least I found it, but it's underneath the car. Oh. That's them all done hand tied. Just trying to future proof, because in here they really like leaking in there. So I'm just making sure there's a good smear in there. Any of you 24 valve Cosworth people, if you ever do get a leak in around the spark plug and the plug hole's filled with oil, I have fixed 2 or 3 occasions of that happening by cleaning in there with brake cleaner and doing just this. In fact, one of the cylinder 2 over there is currently like that. So I know it works. Right, I think I'm going to leave that to settle tonight as it is. Just leave it sitting there, and then in the morning I'll come in whenever it's hopefully gone off a good bit and nip the bolts up a little bit more. Well, update. Didn't work. All of it has to come back out again. That is the leak. It leaked first of all at the front end there. Sorted that. Then it leaked at the back. Tried to sort that. Can't. I've tried lifting it up a little bit, shoving silicone in, tightening it down. Just it's not working. So, truly and utterly fed up, but nonetheless, I'm going to take this apart again and see if I can get the gasket rescued somehow. See if I can get it to work. Maybe cut these here with a Stanley knife and just, I think what I'm going to maybe do is cut this with a Stanley knife. I've bought a new thing of gasket sealer and seal it onto the rocker cover and let it set. Then once it's properly sealed onto the rocker cover and looks good, then I'll transfer it onto the car with more sealer and see if I can get that to work. It's the only thing I can think of currently, so yeah. I'm not going to bore you. You've already seen me taking it apart once. I'll update you hopefully in a little bit. Okay, so after round 16 of gasket sealer, I finally got it to stick. The gasket that I had bought was deformed whenever I took it off the first time after the fire. Basically, it was far too long and it stretched for some reason. So what it did was I took into it and cut a section out of both sides to shorten it, super glued those back together, turned the rocker cover upside down and stuck the gasket to it with real good quality sealant. Let it go off for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, and then put a sealer on the other side of it and stuck it down to the head. Seems to have stuck so far. So yes, I have got a 250-ish mile round trip tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see if it sticks after that, I suppose, won't we? So, it's now the day after. You should have saw some of the video clips that I've just put in beforehand of where I was yesterday. Capri made it, 249.6 miles. No drips from the record cover anyway. There's plenty of drips everywhere else, but none from the record cover. Car is still needing mapped, but it's running pretty good, I have to say. The unfortunate thing is, over in Northern Ireland, I don't know if you are aware, there was MOT extensions long before lots of you people got MOT extensions in England and the rest of the UK, because we have a different type of MOT system over here. We have government centres that we go to. Basically, there's 6 or 7 of them in different parts of the country. All of those obviously were furnished by the same company using the same lifts to keep them all fair in a government tender, most likely. Well, all of said lifts gave up at the one time, all cracked and stuff. So the MOT centres over here have been out of action for years now. They've been running on a limited capacity anyway. It's been really tough to get a test. This thing runs out of MOT on Wednesday. It's now Monday. So it was a good last hurrah to get her out before the winter. I have a few bits and pieces I wanted to do her before MOT. I would like to get her mapped because currently she's running a bit rich and I'm not entirely certain it'll pass the emissions. Again, we have different emissions over here than the rest of the UK before people jump on the bandwagon. Hence the troubles with that over there. It would have passed if it was in the UK, but not in Northern Ireland apparently because we're different. So, yes. Gonna have a violent shake at the front under braking. So I think I need to. I'll turn you around. I think it's in there on the passenger side front. Whenever you put your foot in the brake, you can sort of hear like a squeaking noise from in there, and the whole the steering's going flipping buck daft. So yes, I think I need to put it up on the lift once the grenade is off and see what's going on. Get that sorted, get her mapped, and get a few other wee bits and pieces done for MOT. The rest of it should pass. To be fair, there's all new brake lines, new suspension in it, so just this braking issue to sort, and then hopefully get her mapped and get her through. But that is a nice looking fleet, if I say so myself, over there. Anyway, happy Christmas to you all. Thanks for sticking around as per usual for yet another year. Thank you to all the subscribers, to channel members, patrons, everybody that's made this possible, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!